Good morning, entrepreneurs and builders. Welcome to the Breaking Business Podcast, where we don't just talk marketing and entrepreneurship, we dissect it, we challenge it, we extract those golden nuggets that you can actually use every single day. Business is in your blood, and I'm here to make it boil. I'm your host, Dr. Wood. Now let's break it down and build something great. So, you've got a notebook bursting with killer shoe designs. You have a vision for your brand that's so clear you can almost taste it. A passion that has you sketching and dreaming late into the night. But then, when you start to think about the business side of things, finding a factory, dealing with logistics, figuring out how to actually sell a single pair, it all feels completely and utterly overwhelming. Trust me, you're not alone. That exact feeling is the wall that stops so many incredible ideas from ever seeing the light of day. If this sounds like you, then this video is the practical step-by-step roadmap you've been looking for. We're not just going to talk about ideas, we're going to build a bridge from that spark in your head to you holding your very first production quality shoe in your hands. This is your guide to starting a shoe business from the ground up. So, grab that notebook and let's get into it. Section 1. The foundation, from dream to blueprint. Every successful brand, from giants like Nike to the niche indie labels blowing up your Instagram feed, started with more than just a great design. They started with a solid plan. A killer idea is the fuel, but a business plan is the engine that actually gets you somewhere. Without it, you're just spinning your wheels. The very first, most critical step, market research. You have to know who you're selling to and what they actually want. The biggest mistake people make is designing in a bubble. You might be obsessed with a certain style, but is there a real market for it? Start digging into what's currently selling. Use tools like Google Trends, or just lose yourself for a few hours on e-commerce sites like Amazon and Etsy. Search for things like trending athletic shoes for women or popular men's leather boots. Pay close attention to the reviews. What do customers love? And what are their biggest complaints about the shoes they're buying right now? Those complaints are pure gold. That's where you find the gaps in the market. This research will help you define your niche. Trying to be everything to everyone is a one-way ticket to failure. Are you making high-performance running shoes? Sustainable, eco-friendly sneakers? Ridiculously luxe high heels for special occasions? Or maybe stylish but comfortable work shoes? A defined niche helps you stand out and lets you tailor everything from your designs to your marketing to a specific person. Once you know your niche, you have to decide on a business model. This choice dramatically impacts your startup costs and your day-to-day life. Broadly, you've got three paths. First is owning the whole production process. This gives you total control over quality and design, but it requires a massive upfront investment in equipment and know-how. The second path is the traditional wholesale model, where you buy shoes in bulk from a manufacturer and then sell them. This is a classic for a reason, but still requires a lot of cash for inventory. The third option, and honestly a game changer for new entrepreneurs, is dropshipping or print on demand. With this model, you focus on design and marketing, and a third-party company handles making and shipping each order as it comes in. The upfront cost is way, way lower, making it a fantastic way to test your ideas without risking your life savings. With your research, niche, and business model figured out, it's time to draft your business plan. This doesn't need to be a 100-page monster for a venture capitalist. Think of it as a roadmap for you. It should outline your mission, your products, a deep dive into your target audience, your sales and marketing plan, and realistic financial projections. Be brutally honest about startup costs. Design, samples, manufacturing, website, marketing, it all adds up. The price tag for starting a shoe brand can swing wildly, from as little as $1,000 to over $1 million, with a median cost around $47,500, depending on your business model and scale. Be clear about where that money is coming from, whether it's your savings, a small business loan, or friends and family. A plan forces you to ask the hard questions now, before you've spent a dime. Section 2. Making it official. the boring stuff that protects you. All right, let's talk about the part that makes most creative people's eyes glaze over, the legal and admin setup. It might not be as fun as designing a new heel, but I promise, this is what protects your dream and turns it from a hobby into a real defensible business. First, you've got to register your business. You'll need to pick a legal structure like an LLC, limited liability company, or a corporation. An LLC is usually a great choice for new business owners because it puts a legal shield between your personal assets and your business debts. This means if the business ever gets into legal trouble, your personal savings, your car, and your house are generally safe. It's a crucial layer of protection. You'll also need to get the right business licenses and permits to operate legally in your city and state. Next up, and this is a big one, is protecting your intellectual property. Your brand name, your logo, and your unique shoe designs are your most valuable assets. You've got to protect them with trademarks. Think about the Nike swoosh or the Adidas three stripes. Those aren't just logos, they're legally protected assets worth billions. Trademarking your brand name and logo stops anyone else in your category from using them, which is vital for building a brand people recognize. For truly unique, functional designs, you might even look into a design patent, but for most new brands, a trademark is the critical first step. Finally, you have to think about compliance. This is just about making sure your products meet safety standards and that your manufacturing process follows labor laws, especially if you're sourcing from overseas. This isn't just about dodging legal bullets, it's about building an ethical brand that customers trust. Today, people really care about where and how their products are made. Being transparent about your ethical sourcing can be a huge part of your brand's story. Getting this stuff in order from day one builds a professional foundation you can grow on with confidence. Section 3, the heart of the shoe, finding your manufacturing partner. This is where your idea finally starts to become a physical thing. It's also one of the most intimidating steps for anyone new to the game. How do you find someone to actually make your shoes? And how do you know if they're any good? It all begins with your materials. The stuff you choose, whether it's premium leather, breathable fabric, tough rubber, or cool new synthetics, defines the look, feel, comfort, and price of your shoe. And more, the story behind your materials is just as important. People are actively looking for products made from sustainable and ethically sourced materials. Using recycled plastics, vegan leather, or organic cotton isn't just good for the planet. It's a powerful marketing tool that can set your brand apart and connect you with customers who share your values. Once you know your materials, it's time to find a supplier who can make your vision a reality. So, where do you look? It used to be that this meant expensive trips overseas or hoping you knew someone in the industry. Today, it's much easier. There are online platforms and sourcing agents that connect entrepreneurs like you with vetted footwear factories all over the world. Countries like China, Vietnam, and India are huge hubs for making shoes, and each has its own specialty, from high-end leather work to massive, efficient sneaker production. But just finding a factory is only the start. Vetting them is the crucial next step. Don't be shy about asking tough questions. Ask about their minimum order quantities, or MOQs. Many factories need you to order hundreds or even thousands of pairs at once, which can be tough for a startup. Look for manufacturers who are open to working with smaller brands and offer lower MOQs. Ask for certifications to make sure they meet quality and ethical standards. And most importantly, build a relationship. The most successful brands, like Nike, have built their empires on strong long-term relationships with their suppliers. Now, for the most important part of this whole phase, if you remember one thing from this section, let it be this. Never, ever go straight to a full production run without getting samples first. A prototype is the first physical version of your shoe, and when you get it, you will find things that need changing. The fit might be slightly off, a seam could be in the wrong place, the color might look different in person. This is totally normal. The sampling process is a back and forth conversation between you and your manufacturer. You give feedback, they create a new sample, and you repeat this until the shoe is absolutely perfect. It takes time and it costs money, but this step is non-negotiable. It's the only way to guarantee the final product matches the vision in your head and meets the quality standards your customers deserve. CTA. Okay, we've laid the foundation and we're getting deep into the process of making your shoe a reality. This is where it gets really exciting. If you're finding this roadmap helpful and if you're feeling a bit more confident and a little less overwhelmed, do me a huge favor and hit that like button below. It tells YouTube we're providing real value and it helps other aspiring shoe entrepreneurs find this guide. Thanks for that. Now let's get back to it. Section 4. From sample to stock, the production journey. You did it. You went back and forth with your manufacturer, you perfected the sample, and you finally gave the green light. Now, it's time for your first full production run. This is the moment your design gets multiplied from one perfect sample into hundreds or thousands of pairs, ready for your customers. Let's pull back the curtain on how that actually works. The manufacturing process can be broken down into 3 main stages. It starts with cutting and clicking. Here, the large hides of leather or rolls of fabric you chose are precisely cut into all the individual pieces of your shoe, following patterns based on your final design. Next is assembly. This is where the magic happens. Skilled workers and sometimes advanced machines take all those cut pieces and start stitching them together. The upper part of the shoe is formed, and then it goes through a process called lasting, where it's stretched and molded over a last, a foot-shaped form, to give the shoe its final shape. This is a critical step for making sure the fit is comfortable and consistent across all sizes. Finally, there's the finishing stage. The sole gets attached, laces are added, and any final branding touches like logos or custom insoles are put in place. The shoes are then cleaned, polished, and carefully placed into their boxes, ready for their journey to a customer. Throughout this entire process, from the first cut to the final boxing, one thing has to be your absolute obsession: quality control, or QC. Quality control isn't something that just happens at the end. You can't just inspect the final batch and hope for the best. A smart QC strategy means having checks and inspections at every single stage of production. You need to be sure the materials are flawless before they're cut, that the stitching is consistent during assembly, and that the sole is securely bonded during finishing. Consistent quality is the bedrock of a good reputation. One bad batch of shoes can lead to a flood of negative reviews and destroy your brand before it even gets a chance to grow. Work with your manufacturer to set up clear quality standards and inspection rules. It's your name on that box, and your customers expect excellence. Section 5. Getting it to your customer. Logistics and sales. So your first batch of shoes is made, they've passed quality control, and they're sitting in boxes at the factory. Congratulations. Now, how do you get them into the hands of your customers? This is where logistics and sales channels come into play. First, you have to get a handle on logistics, the physical journey of your products from the factory to your customer. This involves shipping, warehousing, and managing your inventory. You'll need to work with a shipping provider to get the shoes from the factory to your storage space, whether that's a third-party fulfillment center, a small warehouse, or even your garage when you're starting out. Managing your inventory accurately is so important. You need to know exactly how many pairs you have in every single size so you don't accidentally sell a shoe you don't actually have. With logistics sorted, you need to decide where you're going to sell your shoes. These are your sales channels, and you've got several powerful options. The most popular and powerful model for new brands today is direct to consumer, or DTC. This just means you sell directly to your customers through your own e-commerce website, probably built on a platform like Shopify. The upsides of DTC are huge. You have complete control over your brand's story and the entire customer experience. You also get much better profit margins because there's no retail middleman taking a cut. But maybe the best part is that you own the customer data. This data, who's buying, where they live, what they look at, is pure gold. It helps you build direct relationships and market to them way more effectively in the future. Another option is to sell on third-party and marketplaces like Amazon, Etsy, or specialized platforms like Zalando. The biggest advantage here is tapping into a massive built-in audience. Millions of people are already shopping on these sites every single day. The downside? You have less control over your branding, you'll face a ton of competition, and the platform will take a big chunk of every sale. Finally, as you grow, you can look into wholesale and retail. This means partnering with brick-and-mortar stores or other online shops who will buy your shoes in bulk to sell to their own customers. This is a fantastic way to scale up and reach new markets, but it's usually a step you take once you've built an established brand and have a proven sales history. For most startups, building a strong DTC presence is the best place to start. Section 6. Creating the hype, your launch and marketing plan. You can have the best shoe in the world and the slickest website, but if nobody knows you exist, you won't make a single sale. This is where marketing and branding come in. It's how you tell your story and build a community that's excited about your product. Long before your first pair of shoes is ready to go, you should be building your brand identity. This is so much more than just a logo. It's your brand's personality, its values, its voice. What do you stand for? Are you rugged and adventurous, sleek and sophisticated, fun and rebellious? This identity needs to shine through in everything you do, from your website design and product photos to the way you write your social media captions. Your brand story is what creates an emotional connection with people and makes them choose you over a dozen other options. Your marketing strategy is how you get that story in front of the right eyeballs. For a new shoe brand, being visual is everything. Social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok are your best friends. They're perfect for showing off your shoes with high-quality photos and engaging videos. And think beyond just selling. Create content that provides value, style guides on how to wear your shoes, behind-the-scenes glimpses of your design process, or stories about the sustainable materials you're using. Influencer marketing can also be incredibly powerful for a new shoe brand, and you don't need a massive budget for a celebrity. Partnering with micro-influencers, people with smaller but highly engaged niche audiences, can be way more effective. Find influencers whose style and followers align perfectly with your brand. A genuine recommendation from a voice they trust can give you instant credibility and social proof. And don't sleep on the power of an email list. From day one, have a place on your website for people to sign up for your newsletter. This gives you a direct line to your most interested potential customers, letting you announce your launch, offer exclusive discounts, and build a truly loyal following. Finally, from the moment you make your very first sale, become obsessed with customer feedback. Encourage reviews, send follow-up surveys, and engage with comments on social media. This feedback is priceless. It will tell you what people love, what needs to be better, and maybe even what you should design next. Your first customers aren't just buyers, they're your most important focus group. Conclusion. So, there you have it. The journey from a notebook full of sketches to a full-fledged business. We've walked through validating your idea with real market research and building a solid business plan. We've covered the crucial legal steps to protect your brand and the tricky process of finding a manufacturing partner you can trust. We've pulled back the curtain on the production process, from cutting and assembly to why quality control is king. And finally, we've outlined how to get your shoes to your customers and build the hype your brand deserves. Is it a complex process? Absolutely. There will be challenges, setbacks, and moments where you feel that same overwhelm you might be feeling right now. But it is not impossible. By breaking it down into these manageable, actionable steps, You can turn that daunting mountain into a clear path forward. You can build that bridge from your passion to your profession. The world is full of people with great ideas. The ones who succeed are the ones who have the guts to take that first step, and then the next one, and the one after that. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the single biggest hurdle you're facing right now in starting your shoe brand? Is it the design, finding a factory, the marketing? Drop it in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going and help each other out. And if you want more in-depth guides like this one to help you on your entrepreneurial journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and now it's time to go build your brand.